35 right now. This morning, we were supposed to hear from the State Superintendent of Education about next steps for schools this fall. Now, we are just learning that he will be meeting with superintendents this upcoming Monday, all through next week, and unveil future school plans officially a week from today. So, how are school districts in the meantime across North Alabama preparing for that? Joining me right now is Madison City School Superintendent Dr. Ed Nichols. Dr. Nichols, good morning.
Good morning, Pat.
Okay, first of all, did I get all that right?
You did. Originally, we had been told that Dr. Mackey would release a roadmap on June the 19th today, but he sent an email out yesterday that he was going to wait. All the superintendents in the state will gather together Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at our conference. I will be there virtually, and he wanted to give the superintendents time to discuss his plan. So we will look at a rough draft of it, and then he will coordinate with ADPH, and his plan is to release that on the 26th of June.
Okay, so let's just back up just a moment from what you just said there. So apparently you and the rest of the superintendents will be meeting with him. You're telling me all 4 of those days, kind of give him an idea of where you folks stand, and then that final plan is a week from today, right?
That's what we've been told, yes, sir.
Okay, what do you expect to hear from Dr. Mackey? Because the last time we talked to him, we talked to you as well. It seems like you had to have a number of plans in place, right? Just in case.
Absolutely. I think the word flexibility, and I think that there'll be a broad guideline from the state and the health department, but that ultimately your local school district, your boards are going to have to make some decisions. Of course, in our minds, safety, first of all, taking care of our staff and our students and anyone that enters our school is going to drive decisions. And then also, right there with it is the best way to give instruction and to be flexible to do that. We're going to have parents that want to keep their kids at home. Could be health issues or staff at home. We're going to provide, and everybody I've talked to, superintendents, a virtual option, as well as the traditional, as much as we could call it traditional, back to school option as well.
Any way of having kind of a mixture of both as well, too? I know that's something we sort of discussed, too, right?
I think we'll have to. I think you're going to have folks who want to start virtually, and then maybe as we see this virus and maybe a vaccine or whatever happens as we move through it, want to come back. So you're going to have that flexibility. We also could have folks, staff, we could have students who are testing positive and need to be quarantined. Mm-hmm. So we're going to have to be flexible to provide them options of teaching and education. So I think you're going to have that kind of fluid hybrid system in the middle.
All right, Dr. Nichols, about a minute left. Seems like a couple of key things to watch, too. Whether to open cafeterias, and also what about bus transportation? What are you thinking so far?
Well, I think, again, we haven't gotten the guidelines and suggestions from the state, but I think one of the big questions is, what role will masks play? You just talked with the mayor about masks, and he's encouraging people. And so I think that's going to be a discussion to have as we look and move forward. How will that play? A lot of folks I've talked to, and ideas that are being passed around is the first few weeks of school, grab and go lunches, and try to limit those large areas where people are together. So I think everything's out there right now. We're putting together a task force of parents and teachers, administrators, and even students to be ready once we get these guidelines to talk about how to re-engage school in the fall. So we're going to get a lot of feedback. In fact, we did an online survey, and we've had over about 600 responses about concerns and ideas and suggestions. So we're ready to take all that when we get Dr. Mackey's guidelines and put a plan in place.
Well, Dr. Nichols, thank you so much for joining us this morning and sharing that, what we can call breaking news, if you will, because a lot of parents, teachers, et cetera, administrators were expecting that Dr. Mackey was going to say something today. And again, folks, if you're just joining us right now at 6:40, the word is that Dr. Mackey will be meeting with superintendents like Dr. Nichols Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday next week, and next Friday is when we're going to get the official order. And by the way, Dr. Nichols, we'll have you back on because We're looking at another date. That's July 3rd, when Governor Ivey decides what to do about the Safer at Home order when it expires that day. So, okay, we're not going to push too far out there, but just give the folks something to think about. In the meantime, appreciate you joining us this morning.
Pat, thank you so much. Have a great weekend.
You bet. You do the same. 6:40 right now.